makes you want to come back, obviously. Try to do it again, right?
That was quick. Yeah. No, I've never mixed any statements or positions about winning and, wanting to be associated with winning championships and being on the best team in the NBA. And, we've just accomplished it again this year, and it would definitely be a great opportunity to be in a position to do it again next year with, largely the same group of guys. So, a lot of questions as far as Phil and, his return. And, I think that impacts a lot of decisions for front office as well.
Derek, lots of your teammates yesterday expressed support and wanting you to come back. What does that mean to you?
That they aren't tired of me just yet, I guess. We've had a special group these last 3 years. When you think about the bulk of the guys that have been here for the last 3 seasons and, what we've been able to accomplish. And, a lot of times to, be successful, or in particular to be the most successful, sometimes it's hard to maintain, certain positive and fun aspects of doing what you need to do. And, we had an interesting team where we were able to, I think, still enjoy the process, while still making a great deal of sacrifice to be NBA champions.
If you have obviously a so in your future, whether it's here or elsewhere, what would it take from the Lakers to make sure that you want to come back to play for them? Don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I'll let that process take care of itself. I mean, I guess the best way to say it would just be which is what I think they've always been about doing, is a commitment to winning. And, sometimes it's hard to, I guess, quantify that and, put a price on it. But, in our business, you have to. You have to find a way to put a price on things that sometimes you can't quantify. So I don't think there's any question about Dr. Buss and his commitment to winning, and Mitch and his commitment to winning. And from that, it's just a matter of, sitting down and working out details. But, until July 1st, it's all wishes, It's hurry up and get to July 1st, basically.
Derek, 14 years into your career, are you thinking for a long, multi-year deal at this point, or a one-year deal, or do you have any inclination of where you've been thinking that?
No, I'm not set necessarily on that. I think it depends on the circumstances and, the details of how the deal would look, and, the position of the team, and, what those needs are. I'm not necessarily, I'm not chasing money, so I'm not looking at just trying to stretch out a deal artificially, just to have a certain number. But at the same time, I, have a strong feeling about, what my value is to a team. So I can't say I'm set on a number of years per se. Based on how I feel, I mean, I could sign a forever deal. But, once we get into the particulars, I think that'll kind of start to take care of itself. I mean, teams are oftentimes pretty clear about what they can do or are willing to do. And we'll see how that goes.
Derek, I think the last time you missed a regular season game was like April 13th back in 2005. What does that kind of a streak really mean to you in terms of the health, longevity, and whatnot, and hard work?
It means a lot to me because it symbolizes, the commitment and the sacrifice required to, put your body and mind in a position to come to work every day and be available for your team every day. And that requires a lot of sacrifice. And you know, and, and some of those hot days in the summer, you know, when you could be at the park with the kids or, you know, going to lunch with your wife, you know, a lot of times I'm working out, and you know, I could be sleeping in or staying up late. You know, I'm doing the opposite, and you know, it's worked out well, and I feel like I've made an investment more so than giving something away. And you know, my family's always been very supportive of my work ethic and what that means to me, and you know, I hope to be able to continue that streak for a long time to come.
Did it take a while to develop that? Like, you now know exactly what you need to do with your body to get it ready, and what kind of program?
Yeah, no, it definitely took some trial and error, and you know, having some injuries and some bad experiences, and you know, I learned from those things, and you know, just every year try to just keep pushing the envelope, you know, to find ways to, you know, keep myself in the best possible shape and condition in the event that I need to go all the way. And you know, with our teams, that's not always required of me, but I'd rather be prepared to have to play 38 minutes and carry a heavy load, even though that's not really what I have to do. But I'm always in shape enough to do it if I need to.
The fact that Kobe had gone through a stretch where he was playing 82 games, have you seen from your end and from his that helping push each other along? I mean, I know you guys are obviously self-motivated, but you see that helping anyone?
Yeah, no, you know, we don't talk about those kind of things much, you know, amongst ourselves, whether myself and Kobe or other guys on the team. But you know, we definitely observe each other's, you know, patterns and behaviors and, you know, different things that guys do to get ready for a game or approach to practice or whatever. And so I think we're very influential amongst each other. And so, you know, things that he's seen from me that I've seen from him, and you know, all of our teammates, things that you know, we pick up, you know, from each other, I think play a huge part in, you know, guys pushing themselves, you know, even beyond maybe what their comfort level would be. And you know, I think probably Andrew's, you know, commitment to the team this year in terms of pushing his way through that knee injury probably says it the most. You know, I mean, watching Kobe push himself through knee problems and still being available for the team, you know, I would imagine probably, you know, really factored into, you know, Andrew's decision to, you know, make the decision he made to be there for our team.
Derek, I noticed that was a lengthy interview, exit interview. Was it because of the uncertainty about Phil and yourself and all that? Did you have to say some goodbyes, or did you have to leave it as like, hopefully I see you down the road, or was there any of that emotion to that meeting?
I mean, somewhat, but you know, we had to cover a number of different things. I unfortunately have the task of, you know, deciding playoff shares and who gets what, and so we had to talk about that.
You got medium money?
Yeah. I need you to, when I leave, I need you to stay in this room and wait for about, and your check will be here shortly. No, we had to talk about a number of things, and but you know, we talked about President Obama and General McChrystal and you know, other stuff as well. So
Did you know the latest, that he has been fired?
No, I did not know that. See what I missed in an hour?
It's a cold tennis match too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't overly sentimental, you know, per se. But we did have to cover quite a few things.
Okay, percentage-wise, how much of it was basketball, how much was it business, and how much was it just chatting?
Almost evenly, I'd say a third, and a third. You know, there's only so much that Mitch could really say, you know, until July 1. So those conversations were really limited. You know, Phil, I actually told him before, you know, we even got into it really heavily that I wouldn't press the issue, you know, and I would respect his process that he needs to go through before he makes his decision, and that I promised him I would come down here and, you know, say the same thing, that, You know, I think we respect him enough to give him that space to make the decision on his own and not necessarily make him feel pressured, you know, to come back. But I don't think he's confused over how we feel about it, you know. But I think we're all just trying to, you know, allow him to go through that process on his own.
Derek, is remaining a starter, I guess, a central priority, or is it just more about a quantifiable role, whatever that may be?
No, it's a priority, but I don't know if I necessarily call it a deal breaker. You know, it just depends. But you know, I don't think I'd ever walk into a meeting with a general manager or a coach and hand him, you know, my decision to say I don't want to start.
Did either you or they bring that up?
No, because Mitch knows how I feel about that. We've been in this position now 3 times, I think, and you know, from the previous 2 times, he knew coming into this one, you know, regardless of what he says or, you know, what the situation is with the team there, I'm never going to give that up. You know, that'll have to be taken from me.
Derek, you mentioned your family application. Do they want you to come back, and do they want you to remain with the Lakers?
I would say so. I mean, you know, my wife and our family, you know, a lot of our family's based here in LA, and you know, our families are important to us, and so you know, I think we've, you know, had so many great experiences.
LA is home.
Yeah, you know, LA is home. You know, it's where we've started our family, based our family, and you know, but we've also, you know, been in the business long enough to know that, you know, things don't always, you know, go the way you want them to go. So, you know, as much as we have our feelings about it, you know, we're still, you know, making sure that we keep things in perspective as a family in terms of what decisions we may be forced to make.
There's a moment early in the playoffs where I walked by and just casually mentioned maybe people throwing a lot of dirt on you, just sort of smiled and had a good game and kind of kept walking. As the playoffs went on, how much satisfaction was there in being able to come through and prove people wrong after a season's worth of criticism like that?
You know, I think I mean, for me, it just always, it feels good to come through, I guess, kind of no matter what, you know, had been or was said, you know, throughout the regular season or previously or in other seasons. But, you know, to be honest, I don't know if I would like it any other way. I mean, part of the reason why I'm here is because of what I was told I couldn't do. You know, even as a kid and in high school, in college, that's what I've heard, you know, my whole basketball career basically. And so, you know, I guess I've developed an ability to just kind of let that be what it is and let people say what they, you know, have a right to say in terms of their opinion. And just kind of keep doing my job and let the results, you know, then kind of go back and be my voice, you know, for months earlier. But it is what it is, man. I really, you know, I've come to expect it, you know, accept it for what it is, and just kind of keep moving past it and, you know, enjoy this part of the year, every year.
Time for one last question, folks.
Derek, July 1st, other teams are calling you. Are you not answering their calls and waiting to go through the Lakers and that process first?
No, I mean, I think I have a responsibility, probably to my family as much as myself, to answer the calls and, you know, have the appropriate conversations and make sure there's an understanding of what options are available to us. I think I would teach my kids that, You know what I mean? Like I would, I would teach them to make sure they gather all the information and do their due diligence before they make an important decision. And so I think I'll go through that same process. But I won't make a decision. You know what I mean? Before I know exactly where I stand here.
Thanks, guys.